Hello my dear children, welcome back to yet another digital class of our college website. I am Mrs. Paul, and again this session is for the students of class 12. Today we will be doing the concluding part, that is the stanza 4 and stanza 5 of the poem, and we will conclude the poem today. So in my previous video I mentioned that the poet is trying to tell us, he's trying to tell the readers that despite all the attractions of life, those people who are dead can never be roused from their beds. Now let us see in the fourth stanza what he has to tell us. Let not ambition mock their useful toil. Children, can you understand, can you recall when I teach you figures of speech, I tell you and I explain you every single thing, and if you just read this line, you can make out yourself which figure of speech is here. Let not ambition mock their useful toil. It means ambition is being referred to as though it is a person. So which figure of speech? It is personification. This line is personification. Let not ambition mock their useful toil, their homely joys and destiny obscure, nor grandeur here with a disdainful smile, the short and simple annals of the poor. Now let us see the meanings first. Ambition here means people who have strong desire to reach heights in their life. Make fun of means to mock at somebody, means to make fun of somebody, to ridicule at somebody, and especially those people who are said to be very humble and very poor. Toil means to work very hard. Homely here refers to something very simple and domestic. Destiny means fate. Obscure, something which is not very clear, which is not very bright, something which is dim. Alright. And grandeur means grand and mighty men. Disdainful means full of hatred, something where there is a lot of acrimony and hatred towards other people. Annals means short and simple records or short stories of their life. And here the poet is referring to those people who were the ancestors of the hamlet village. Let's see. In this stanza, the poet says that the people who are buried here were very simple and had a very simple and domestic life. They worked hard for themselves, they worked hard for their nation, but fate never favored them. They did not reach great heights, yet they were always contented. Contented means they were satisfied with their life. Whatever they had achieved, they were satisfied with that. The history of their life is very short and simple. They did not do anything great in their life, so their life history remained very simple. So the rich people, the great people should not laugh at them, or they should not ridicule at them, or they should not mock at them. They should not see them with hatred. Now, you have to also explain this particular stanza from reference to context. You have to do, and what can you write in context? I'll just give you a little help. You can write it like this. The poet is sitting in a country churchyard. There are men lying buried in small graves. Nobody and no sound can wake them up. They will never come back to life because they have died. They were very simple, uneducated and poor people. And then you can write your explanation, which I have given you just now. Alright, let's see the last and the concluding stanza, children. And you will also mention here that in this stanza, ambition has been personified. So the figure of speech is personification. You can write it as a critical appreciation, as a critical note, or in your comments after explanation. That adds a little more marks to you when you appear in the board exams. So you can keep this as a key point. The last stanza says, the boast of heraldry, the boast of heraldry, the pomp of power, and all that beauty, all that wealth that ever gave, awaits alike the inevitable hour. The paths of glory lead but to grave. Now let us see the meanings. Boast of heraldry means to be having the pride of being born of noble birth, or to be born. Normally we use an idiomatic phrase, to be born with a silver spoon, which means to be born in a very well-to-do family, or to be born in a very noble birth. Pomp of power means show of wealth. Inevitable, that which cannot be avoided. So the inevitable hour means the time of death. All right, let us see the explanation now. In this concluding stanza, children, the poet says that we should not be proud of our birth in a high family or of our wealth. Powerful, beautiful and wealthy things that we get, they may only bring honor and fame in this world. But their end is also like the poor, weak and ugly people. It means no matter what kind of life you live, the end to both the wealthy, the rich and the poor is alike, it is same. So they should not be proud of their materialistic possessions. They should remember that the end of all is same, and that is death. Now what can you write in the comment? In this stanza, the poet teaches us, or you can say this poem teaches us, that it is useless to run after name, fame, pomp, money, power, or because the end of our journey of life is only death. So if we do something good for the benefit of others, that would be remembered rather than all these possessions. So with this we complete this poem, An Elegy Written in a Country Churchyard. It's an important poem, children. Please make sure that you are taking down the notes. You also have to write the explanation, as I mentioned, from reference to context. And now when we have completed the poem, you will also write to me the central idea. This is going to be your home assignment. We will meet very soon in the next session, in the next video. I will come up with another lesson, and up till then, take care. Goodbye, children.